Hello, Dominica. Welcome to the Kairi TV newscast. I'm your presenter, Vanessa Bruno. Let's take a look at the headlines. Children headed back to the classroom Wednesday to face a packed school term. A trade union calls for unity in strengthening its representation of workers. And the clergy adds its voice to the growing chorus condemning violence against women. Stay tuned for details of these stories and more right after the break.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low-budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering? How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kairi Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need. PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure the success of your special event. Call us today at 612-4050. Kairi Sounds, your partner in sound, stage, and lighting services.
Welcome back. In our lead story, Prime Minister Kairi calls for a strategic imperative on how Dominicans operate as a country. Nathaniel Durand has that story.
In his New Year's address to the nation, the Honorable Prime Minister, Roosevelt Skerrit, says as Dominicans reflect on 2022 and look to the future, the two words that come to mind are gratitude and reset. The Prime Minister says in a year that was extraordinarily difficult, during which the global population was faced with pestilence, war, shortages of commodities, jobs and financial resources, God held up Dominica and Dominicans, and for this, citizens must express gratitude. Mr. Skerrit says the idea of reset is not just about short-termism or a convenient slogan, but should be a strategic imperative for how Dominicans must operate as a country, adding that achieving this will demand the attention of all stakeholders and will involve a reassessment of strategies and approaches to governance to deliver growth to the country and strengthen its social systems to promote the well-being of all persons. The Prime Minister emphasized that more than ever, children, women, and the elderly need others to speak up loudly on their behalf to shield them from abuse of all forms. Mr. Skerrit further noted that domestic abuse must be treated as a public problem, which requires citizens to respond to prevent and punish all acts of intimate partner violence and provide protection to the victims. The Prime Minister gave the commitment that the country will present a united front in tackling challenges, overcoming obstacles, and succeeding in its endeavors. Nathaniel Durand, Kairi TV News.
In other top stories, the Dominica Amalgamated Workers Union, DAWU, wants to see greater unity in strengthening representation for workers. Here's Linda Martin with more.
The union, which represents the National Bank of Dominica, Republic Banks, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited, and Papillon Wilderness Retreat, says there is need to take a united approach to strengthening representation for workers. General Secretary of DAWU, Leah Shillingford, says 2022 has been a good year for the union as it was able to see the favorable settlement of victimization cases, grow its membership, and successfully negotiated a collective agreement for workers at two banking institutions.
It was historical seeing that the previous bank, Scotiabank, was really a fight. That although people are free to unionize according to the International Labour Organization, and you are free to join an association and free for collective bargaining, that the union could not get into Scotiabank for 30 years. And now, 3 years into the making of Republic Bank, the staff really took a strong stand that they wanted to be unionized. And they did do their research, which was good for the DAWU, that they decided that DAWU was the best union to represent them.
Despite the increase in membership, the concern remains over the number of members who do not pay union dues yet benefit from the collective agreement between the union and the employer. Deputy General Secretary of DAWU, Ronald Sabert, says the union hopes to address this concern in 2023.
We're trying to get things in place that once we represent a company, whether or not you want to be paying the union dues, which is a specific amount every month or every week or fortnight, as it may be, that something is put in place that you contribute. Because at the end of the day, when we negotiate with the company, you benefit. So whether it's a salary increase, we cannot say that, okay, you're not part of the union, so you're not going to benefit. No, it goes across the board. So it will only be fair that those that are paying get the benefits, and those that are not paying also get the benefits. So in that way, we're going to put something, we're asking government now to put something in place where everybody has to pay. And that way the unions can grow from strength to strength.
The Dawu executive will also engage in conversations with its membership to stress the importance of paying dues to help make the union a more effective representative body.
The union has decided going forward that we are not going to sit and negotiate with the employer, because the union is not the general secretary and the deputy. The union is actually the members. And if the members are not financial, then really we're ineffective. So it does not make sense to sit with an employer to discuss increase in salary for 100% workers and maybe 2 or 3% is paying. The staff must understand that they are the union and they must pay the dues.
Continued growth of its membership is also on the cards for the Dawu in 2023. Linda Martin for Kairi TV News.
Switching gears now to education. Students across the island returned to school Wednesday to mark the beginning of a new term. Minister for Education, Honorable Octavia Alfred, highlighted the many activities for the upcoming term, including sport, wellness, and arts.
This term, schools will be involved in sporting tournaments such as the volleyball, under-20 cricket, under-12 netball, and the Women's and Girls Sports Festival. The National 4-H Club Arts and Craft Exhibition will be on January 27th. January is also observed as Health and Family Life Education Month, and we encourage schools to focus on activities which will assist students in developing healthy self-management habits. The National 4-H Green Days are February 2nd and 3rd. February will also be a month where our students will focus on costume building, mask making, performing arts, dance, music, and choral speech. March will be Literacy Month, and we will observe literacy not just in the English language, but also in French and Creole. The 4-H Club School Festival will be held in the week of the 20th to the 24th of March, and schools will close on April 5th.
As students return to the classroom, the common flu is known to wreak havoc during this time of year. Minister Alfred reminds all students, staff, and parents to practice good hygiene in efforts to prevent the spread of the common flu.
As we return to school, we notice that a number of students have the flu. We encourage students, parents, and teachers to continue to wash your hands regularly, to use hand sanitizers when necessary. We encourage schools to continue to clean regularly touch surfaces. And I want to say it's okay to wear a mask, even if we do not have a mask mandate. If you're coughing, it's okay to wear a mask. And if you're a person who catches a cold easily, you can wear a mask while you go out in public. Parents are also reminded to keep students home if they have the flu, especially if they are coughing a lot and if they have a fever. When you do so, contact your school so that arrangements can be made for your child to continue in his or her learning activity. The Ministry of Education wishes all our parents, teachers, and students a productive term 2.
This is the Kairi TV News. Stay tuned for more after this break.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low-budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering? How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kairi Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need: PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure the success of your special event. Call us today at 612-4050. Kairi Sounds, your partner in sound, stage, and lighting services.
Welcome back. Dominica's Catholic community has condemned violence against women in light of recent events. Vicar General of the Roman Catholic Church in Dominica, Monsignor William John Lewis, has expressed outrage at the level of violence against women over the last few days, more so during a special time of year, the Christmas season. During his Old Year's Night service broadcast by Kairi FM on December 31st, Monsignor John Lewis called on the nation to honor, respect, and love women, mothers, and girls.
How do we treat our women? How do we revere and honor our mothers? Yes, all the women, our sisters, our secretaries, the ladies who clean our houses and do our laundry, the ladies who sit next to us in church, the sisters who work with us in our offices. We hear of women being gang raped by soldiers, and we say, oh, that's far off places, that doesn't happen here. We hear of women being denied a university education just because they're women. And we say, thank God that doesn't happen here. Women not being allowed to work with charitable organizations. Women being treated as personal property, to be kept, to be used, abused, and thrown away. How do we treat our young girls? Have we become so depraved a society that our young women are groomed and invited to parties where it is prearranged that they would be preyed upon, bait for the hungry sharks? Has the moral compass become so low that mothers agree to settle out of court after their underage daughters have been brutally abused and raped? Or worse, that they offer them as prostitutes for a few dollars or special favors?
Monsignor John Lewis believes that this is the time to come together to pray and work toward building a better Commonwealth of Dominica.
We are called to confront the challenges of our world, beginning, of course, with our own society, in a spirit of responsibility and compassion. We must revisit the issue of ensuring public health for all. We must promote actions that enhance peace and put an end to the conflicts and wars that continue to spawn poverty and death. We urgently need to join in caring for our common home and in implementing clear and effective measures to combat climate change. We need to battle the virus of inequality and to ensure food and dignified labor for all, supporting those who lack even a minimum wage and find themselves in great difficulty. The scandal of entire peoples starving remains an open wound. We also need to develop suitable policies for welcoming and integrating migrants and those whom our societies discard. Only by responding generously to these situations, with an altruism inspired by God's infinite and merciful love, will we be able to build a new world and contribute to the extension of his kingdom, which is a kingdom of love, justice, and peace.
And 15 Calypsonians have begun the race to the 2023 Calypso Monarch title, following the first live Calypso elimination round since 2019. President of the Dominica Calypso Association, Davidson Observer Victor, says these 15 Calypsonians will join several seasoned Calypsonians at the quarterfinals scheduled for January 21st to 2023.
The 2023 Calypso season began with a bang, with the eliminations taking place on Friday the 30th of December 2022, and the results are in random order. 15 Calypsonians were chosen to join the rest of the Calypsonians waiting to form a 32-man squad to go to the quarterfinals of the 2023 Calypso competition to be held on January 21st, 2023.
Victor went on to list the names of competitors for the next round, along with the reserves.
Joy, Trilogy, Daddy Chess, Comforter, White Fairy, Vigilante, Third Eye, Shanice, Chris B, Mighty D, Black Diamond, Explosion, Danian, Royet, and Mighty Omi. These are the 15 Calypsonians chosen. Normally, we usually take a few reserves in the event that for one reason or the other a Calypsonian cannot take part in those that are selected. Then the reserves fill in the gap, and the reserves are usually called in the order that they came. So Luscious came as the first reserve, Son of the Saint second reserve, Nizaya third reserve.
On a less upbeat note, the Calypso Association president extended condolences to the family of Mervyn Solo Constant, a four-time Calypso monarch who lost his life earlier this week.
Solo was a very good gentleman. He was a very significant aspect of the Calypso business in Dominica since 1968. And even on Friday night at the eliminations, he was there enjoying the show together with us. And that makes it even more shocking that a day or so after that, we hearing of his passing. We are very saddened, and we just express to his family that we are there to support them in whatever way we can, and we will work together to see that everything works out well.
You're watching the Kairi TV News. Stay tuned for a recap of the headlines right after this.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low-budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering? How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kairi Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need: PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure the success of your special event. Call us today at 612-4050. Kairi Sounds, your partner in sound, stage, and lighting services.
To end the news, the headlines again. Children headed back to the classroom Wednesday to face a back-to-school term. A trade union calls for unity in strengthening its representation of workers. And the clergy adds its voice to the growing chorus condemning violence against women. Tune into 107.9, 93.1, 91.1 and 88.7 FM Monday to Friday for our radio newscasts at 6:30 a.m., 1 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. Go to Kairi TV on Flow Channel 953 to watch our TV newscasts Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. with repeats at 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/KairiFM. Check us out on Instagram at KairiFM and follow us on Twitter at KairiFM Dominica. Visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch up on any newscasts you may have missed. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Vanessa Bruno. Thank you for watching.